Hi, it's Penny here, and today we're going to be putting together my reading plans for December. As usual, I'll be using my TBR Machine website that I made that spits out random reading prompts. I will leave that down in the description thing if you want to try that out yourself. But I'll use that website to pick 3 prompts and pick 3 books off my TBR cart. And I am planning, as I have done the last couple of months, to punish myself for any books I don't read off this list by donating to charity. So I'll leave a link down below where you can find out more about that. But if you do have any suggestions of really good charities that you think I should consider donating to, then please leave them in a comment down below. Firstly, before we get to picking the books with the TBR Machine, I do have 2 books from the library at the moment that I will need to get to. I'm a little bit concerned about my December reading because it's going to be Christmas holidays and it's summer here in New Zealand, so we're probably going to go on a road trip, and I never get much reading done during a road trip. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But anyway, the first book I have from the library is Black Sun by Rebecca Roanhorse. This is some kind of dystopian science fiction with celestial prophecies and some kinds of gods. To be honest, I don't know. It's the beginning of a new series. I really love some of Rebecca Roanhorse's works. I've heard nothing but good things about this so far, so I'm super excited to get to it. So there's that 450 page book, and then I'm laughing at how ridiculous I am. I also have Rhythm of War. I'm currently in the process of finishing off Oathbringer. I ended up having to give up on the physical book for Oathbringer and move on to the audiobook, finishing it off that way. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with Rhythm of War. I think I might try and do a mixture of reading the physical and reading the audiobook, but maybe like going back and forth, because this particular edition will have all sorts of beautiful art through it. This book is so new. It feels so fresh. I was like 3rd on the whole queue. I'm very proud. But like these books have all sorts of like art and diagrams through them, so I think the physical book experience is quite good, but at the same time it's like 1200 pages, so that's quite a lot to get through when you don't think you're going to have much reading time. If you haven't heard about this is the 4th book in the Stormlight Archives by Brandon Sanderson. It's a new release. It's a very difficult series to describe because it's going to be a 10-book series and all the books are going to be over 1,000 pages. So there's a lot going on. But basically there is a war during which people are discovering they have different powers, and they're also learning about these different gods that have all sorts of strange things going on around them as well. Anyway, I'm excited to get to that, no matter how unrealistic it seems. But now let's pick 3 books off my TBR cart using the TBR Machine. Okay, so the first prompt, I didn't get this again. Read a book that is out of your comfort zone. So what I'm thinking is, a book that I really want to be on my December TBR is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by B.E. Schwab. Now, I'm really excited to read it, so you might think that doesn't sound like it's out of my comfort zone. However, it's very hyped, and a lot of people have said that it's more of a historical fiction than it is a fantasy. Generally, I don't really like historical fiction. And there have just been a few things about this that have made me a little bit nervous that it's not going to be for me. I have loved a lot of Victoria Schwab stuff. However, I'm still nervous going into this. So like, that's out of my comfort zone, right? I'm going to count it. So I got that on the TBR. If you haven't heard about this book, this is about a woman named Addie LaRue who makes a deal with a devil type creature to live forever. The cost for it is that nobody will ever remember her, and so she lives a very lonely life until one day she meets someone who remembers her, and I really hope I enjoy it. Okay, let's pick the second prompt. Read a book that you think suits the current season. I really don't know why I put this on my TBR Machine because I don't really read seasonally. Okay, so at the moment it's spring, but in December it'll be summer. Well, it's debatable, right? Because some people say summer doesn't start till like the 20th of the month. But I want it to be summer, so I'm going to say it's summer. So let me look at my TBR cart and see what might be summery. Oh, I want to read that one too, but these are all dark fantasies. That's not summer. I don't know why I would think that I would have a summery book. I've got wintry books. Okay, I think the best one I have here is one that I recently hauled, and that is Replica by Lauren Oliver. It's kind of thick, but the text is very big, and I think it's like a YA novel, so I think it'll be a fairly easy read, and that's what we need for this month. As far as this book goes, I don't know much about it other than it's this weird style where you can read it starting from either side. So basically you can read Gemma's story from this side, or Lyra's story from this side, or you can alternate chapters back and forth, and it's like the same story but told from different perspectives, and I think they're clones. The reason why I'm arguing that this is a summary book is just the color scheme. I mean, I guess you could say there's butterflies. Butterflies are like a spring summer thing, right? It's the best I've got on my shelf, so this is what we're doing. Okay, let's pick one last prompt. Read a book from the Rory Gilmore reading list. I am almost certain that I don't have any of these on my TBR card, but let me look. Oh, you know, I probably do. I bet this one's on it. Okay, so the book I'm picking isn't technically on any list I can see of books that Rory Gilmore read. However, I feel like almost certainly Rory Gilmore would have read this because it's a classic, and that is The Time Machine and Other Stories by H.G. Wells. I've had this on my TBR before. I want to read it because I really love time travel, and this is a classic. I don't always like classics, but I do want to know as much about time travel literature as I can, so I want to read this one. And like, it's not that long, so that shouldn't be too bad even though it's a classic, right? Okay, so that means that this is going to be my TBR for December. I'm going to be honest, I think this is a bit optimistic. However, if I read some of The Rhythm of War via audiobook and maybe some of The Time Machine via audiobook, then maybe it's not too bad. That's going to be my plan, and we'll see how we go. As I do donate to charity for any books I don't read, it's not that terrible. I do also want to tell you about the audiobooks that I'm planning to read in December. So let's have a look at my Libby app. So firstly, I have Hunters of the Dusk by Darren Shan. This is the 6th book in the Cirque du Freak series, all about this boy who becomes a vampire. And I can't tell you anything about the plot more than that, especially what's happening in the 6th book, because it would definitely be spoilers. But it's a young middle grade fantasy. A lot of fun, and I have been enjoying the series, so I want to continue it. I think I'm about halfway through the series. As well, basically I went through and I added a whole bunch of series continuations on as audiobooks. So I've got The Daylight War by Peter V. Brett. So this is the 3rd book in the Demon Cycle, which is all about this world where when the sun goes down, demons rise from the earth. There's all sorts of different demons, but the people have developed these symbols, wards that they can build up in certain ways in order to create a shield against the demons. We're following a whole bunch of different characters who are involved in trying to get rid of the demons for good. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in this 3rd book. That's all the ones I have, but what holds do I have? Right, so in the next 2 weeks I should be getting the final book in the Percy Jackson series, the very first one, so that's book 5, Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. And I'm expecting to find out something about this prophecy that we've been hearing about through the whole series, so it'll be good to get some closure on that. I know there are a lot more books in the bigger world, but I'm expecting that this first series does wrap itself up. So we'll see if I'm right. And I don't think any more of my holds in this app will be coming through in December, but I also have BorrowBox with my library, and they have like a different selection between the 2 apps. It's quite interesting. Anyway, I also got Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. So this is the 3rd book in the Grishaverse, all about this girl Alina who discovered that she had these epic magical powers, and she's gotten involved in this war against the Darkling and trying to make the world a safer place. I didn't really like the 2nd book, but this is the 3rd book in the trilogy, and then once I've finished it I can try the Six of Crows duology, so I'm eager to get it read for that reason. As well, it was on my list of 20 books I wanted to read in 2020, so I can tick it off for that. And then the last audiobook that I got is Queenslayer by Sebastian de Castell, which is the 5th book in the Shadow Slinger series. Is that what the series is called? Anyway, it's all about this boy named Cal who, just as he was about to do his magic exams, realized that he was losing his magical ability. It's another one where 5th book in a series, it's very hard to tell you what's really happening now, but Basically, he's been traveling around the world, and in every single book there's been a whole new cast of characters and a whole new magic system. So I feel like I don't even know what this next book is going to be about. So I'm excited to find out. So I think that's 5 audiobooks and 5 physical books, so 10 books altogether. It doesn't seem impossible, but I guess we'll find out. Check back in January to see what I got read and what I thought of these books. And definitely do let me know down in the comments if you have read any of these books and whether you think I'm going to like them, or whether you're also hoping to read them sometime in the future. Otherwise, that is my TBR. So thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're doing well, and I will see you next time.